The golden curl Jasimar greets you with a graceful bow. So, you found me. I've nowhere else to run. I am at your mercy. Kill me if you wish, but I ask you, hear me out first. Did you really know about the demon attack before it happened? I did. We have a secret ally in the enemy's ranks. No one knows who this brave soul is, but she has been feeding us information about the demon's plans. These dispatches have come to us by the most reliable channel bestowed upon us by the great dreamer herself, Desna. They have come to us in dreams. Prelate Hulrun brushed them off as meaningless reveries, but I admit that it isn't always easy to distinguish our allies' messages from ordinary dreams, but even ordinary dreams are gifted from Desna and are always worthy of attention. The prelate and all the crusade leaders, for that matter, should have put less store in reason and more in intuition, inspiration, and spontaneity. What's more, not long before the attack on the city, a blind elf who calls himself the Storyteller, yeah, we heard about that one before, arrived in Canabris. This wanderer wasn't merely a collector of legends, but a scholar of the unknown. According to him, a wardstone in our city, the first and most important in the chain of wardstones weakened since long ago, was teetering on the brink of corruption. It seems that the Red Morning Massacre and other demon attacks, even the ones we fended off, did not leave us unscathed. Unfortunately, the prelate did not wish to listen to the storyteller either. We're lucky he wasn't burned at the stake as a heretic. We had such vital information on our hands, information that could have saved the city, but no one cared to listen all the way to the catastrophic end. Not all dreams have benign origins. What if those dreams were sent by demons? In a different time and place, someone perhaps could have become the victim of false dreams sent by monsters, but here, in the war with the abyss, the goddess is keeping a close eye on her most faithful followers. I have no doubt that if a demon tried to intrude upon the dreams of any of us, Desna's punishment would have been swift. Tell me about the strange rituals that were going to be performed on the wardstone. Rasmian looks slightly abashed. When my attempts to open Hulrun's eyes ended in failure, a few of my young adepts resolved to taking matters into their own hands. They did not consult me before doing so, but I have never demanded iron discipline from my priests. Army commanders may have subordinates, but I have pupils and fellow worshippers. I can only inspire them. I cannot command them. As it seems, they were inspired all on their own. In other words, you get to preach whatever you want, and you don't have to take any responsibility for your flock. You really got it made. For pity's sake, how can I be held responsible for the actions of others? These are not children we are discussing here. They are grown adults endowed with their own free will. Praise the goddess. Of course, we all help one another, but in the final reckoning, each of us decides how we will act, and each must answer for those choices. They have no ill intent. They only wished to access the wardstone in secret and tried to cleanse it. But to Hulrun this became perform a suspect ritual after hearing even more suspect voices in their dreams. The children wanted to save their city, but the Inquisitors detained them and almost killed them. I had to intervene. I used my authority and my power as a cleric to give them a chance to flee. If they hadn't got away, they were destined for a cell in the prelate's dungeon, and quite likely death. Why are you and Hulrun feuding? I'm not feuding with him. I sincerely wish only the best for the man. In an ideal world, he'd be far away from the front lines, enjoying a peaceful retirement, but even if that isn't possible, I have always tried to help him fulfill the mission he has taken upon himself, and to which he has proved fatally ill-suited, protecting Canabres against the demons. Unfortunately, he is convinced that the followers of Desna are heretics and saboteurs. He refused to listen to me, and it was only the knightly orders that deterred him from including us in his witch hunt. Now, there is clearly no one left to stand in his way. He's finally free to get rid of us once and for all. Is there a chance you can resolve your conflict? I don't know. Hulrun's faith is truly formidable. Not only in his faith in Yomide, but in his own infallibility. In other words, he's as hard-headed as a rock troll, but even so, Desna teaches us never to lose hope. Talk to him. Try to explain that we are fighting on the same side. If he attacks you, disarm him. Bind his hand. But I beg you, if at all possible, please do not kill him. Why haven't you left this place for somewhere safer? Because people might need help, and they will come to the temple in search of a priest. I will not hide away in a hole in the ground, saving my own neck, while Canabres is full of people suffering in the wake of the demon's attack. Well, we have to go. Wait. 3 of my adepts are hiding somewhere in the ruins of the city. The ones the Inquisitors wrongly accused of treason. I beg you, find them, and protect them against the demons and vigilantes like Hulrun. They will not rest until they find them. If there is anything else you can do to save Canabres, please do it. Stranger, wait. I am Ilkes. You spared Ramian despite what that mad Inquisitor told you. The young voice coming from nowhere. Hang on. Sorry, I forgot to remove the spell. I just hope Hulrun's dogs aren't lurking nearby. A male youth materializes before you. His face looks haggard from lack of sleep, but he's clearly pleased to be speaking to someone. So, you are one of the Desnan adepts that tried to break into the Wardstone? Yes, I am Ilkis, cleric of Desna, and one of the people who answered the call of the voice in dreams. Some unknown person made contact with us through our dreams, telling us about the demons' plans. We learned that the demons were planning to attack Canabres and do something terrible to our Wardstone, which already carries the taint of corruption. Prelate Hulrun refused to heed our warnings. We had to make a choice. We could either throw up our hands and pull back, or take action, even though it could cost us our lives. But what heartless person could stand by in the face of such a deadly threat? What were you planning to do to the Wardstone? The young man hesitates. Our plan was to get to it and then follow our instincts. So we had no plan. There were 3 of us. A cleric, a mage, and a bard. So, drunk. Yeah, I'm not going to continue that one. Between us, we know a lot. We're capable of a great deal. If we'd had enough time, I'm sure we could have figured out what's wrong with the Wardstone and how to heal it, but they didn't give us time. Yes, the local commanders got roped into dealing with this. Some idiot kids trying to break into the Wardstone. Apparently some of ours, but who even knows these days? Sealer sighs. I know there's no evil in you. I can sense things like that, but What you did was so stupid and impulsive. Someone could have got hurt. I know from experience. Clap, clap, clap. So, you decided that you needed to do something right away. So you did something right away. Great work. How did you even come up with such a plan? How could we not come up with a plan? You sense the young man's temper rising. Listen, Desna is the goddess of luck. But luck, as many lay people would understand it, and luck as we, the followers of the music of the spheres, see it, are far from the same thing. Other people believe that luck is something good, that falls into your lap just because, like a generous but unearned reward. But we see luck as a fundamental law of creation, according to which even the darkest hour, the most hopeless situation, a chance of rescue and change for the better can arise. But you've got to seize this chance when it presents itself, or better yet, create your own. Followers of Desna are not people who like idleness and inaction. That's why, when Kenabres was in trouble, we did as our goddess had taught us. We took the matter in our own hands and tried in a moment of desperation to pluck our chance from the hands of fate itself. Amber, you were trying to help. Can they punish you if you were trying to help? Is that allowed? Sometimes it is even necessary. Lawful. So what? You went up against Hulrun, but he's the official governor of the city. What of it? Says the cleric with remarkable complacency. Submitting to unworthy leaders is one of the great ills of our civilization, that's true. We will never, ever defeat the demons if we keep listening to people like Hulrun. Whose voice have you been hearing in your dreams? Nobody knows what it is, but everyone who has heard her, I should say, is convinced that she is a good and pure soul chosen by Desna. We had a choice. We could trust her, except that we had an ally somewhere who isn't afraid of all the armies of the Abyss, or we could drown in suspicion and get one step closer to becoming just like Hulrun. We decided to trust the voice. And seeing Kenabres devastated, which is what our unknown ally tried to prevent until the very end, I can see now who had the truth on their side. Where are your fellow worshippers? And how many of them are there? Fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know where they are. We split up to confuse the Inquisitors who were chasing us. Do you need any help? Desna teaches us to trust in last-ditch chances. Listen closely. My friends are called Aranka and Tal the Wallflower. Aranka is an amazing singer and a truly beautiful girl. She has plenty of friends and fans. She's probably blended into a crowd somewhere. Wallflower is a mage, but I don't think he'll use magic. It's risky. It will only bring the Inquisitors down on him. He'll be harder to find. You'd better find Aranka first. She might know where Wallflower is. Please, find them, and protect them against the demons and the Inquisitors. I will await news in the Goddess's temple. I hope our mysterious helper will send us a new message that will reveal what is to come from the demons. Go. Okay.
We march ahead.
Now we have a lot of new stuff. Anything else with him? I have to go. Why is it lawful to attack him? He's innocent, and he's a wise man who saw the death of innocence. I mean, sometimes law is just bullshit, obviously. Oh, there's a loot. What was this place that we didn't venture to yet? So let's go back, and after that we're going here again, and we're going to try to find the two people.
Godspeed. I have managed.
The dug up graves and other clues indicate that the necromancer has recently conducted a ritual here. That's not good.
Let us press on.
Can't hide from me.
Our path leads on.
This city has fallen at last. How glorious. Now I can stop pretending to be a shopkeeper and spend all my time on my true passion, reanimating the dead. What the heck?
Endure
You are today's sacrifice!
The light take you.
Strike as one. Attack! We shall overcome.
This will leave a bruise.
Do not
Make every strike count.
Go for their hearts!
That was ridiculously close again.
Doubt is the
I will
heart's
not
greatest
falter.
challenge.
The disfigured corpses are laid out in neat pattern in preparation for an unknown ritual.
I will guide us.
The inheritor, guide my blade.
Godspeed.
Right, we freed that one dude. Did we free him?
Let us press on.
Right, yes. Anything here? Honestly, I want to return. Sealer carries too much weight. Wait, what? Right. She carries nothing. Do we need to take her armor away? Oh, we do. Well, that's ridiculous. Okay. Well, I don't like it. Okay. Can we now please exit? Okay, that's okay, that's okay. I don't care. No, 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 no. Yes, okay. Leave. I want to return to the tavern. We need to heal her. She's close to death. That's just fallen horse. That's not acceptable. We definitely need to get back. Party house. Tower of Estrid. Yeah, all of this is not important. We need to save our friend.
Wearing a robe? Check. Baphomet symbol around the neck? Check. Crazy eyes? Check. Note to self. Bring a mirror next time to be able to adjust the optimal level of eye craziness. Everything is ready for the experiment.
The woman produces a crumbled piece of paper from her sleeve and takes notes.
An audience. Problematic, but not critical. You there, boy. Stay out of this. It is counterproductive to stand in the way of scientific progress.
Okay, so first, she's voiced, so she's probably a companion. All important. Who are you? What are you doing here?
Who's that? I don't know her.
Greetings, boys and girls. I am your sister in sin, a devotee of Lord Baphomet's dark will, and so on and so forth.
She looks like one of us, but she talks kinda weird. Who's there with you?
Who? Oh, them! Just an audience, they don't matter. Consider them a supplementary component of the coming experiment. In the name of our Lord Baphomet, please be so kind as to undertake a little test of your competency in our wicked cause. Let's start with something simple. So here's my first question. What is Lord Baphomet's favorite weapon?
We will not answer to you.
Our lord can wield any kind of weapon. He is all-powerful.
Wrong. He wields no weapons at all. He doesn't need any. He just gores his enemies with his horns.
Actually, it's Isorgor, a glaive made of red adamantine.
That is correct. But still, boy, no prompting, please.
The woman turns to you with a glimmer of interest in her eyes.
This experiment has taken quite a surprising turn. I would never have expected the followers of the great Baphomet to be baffled by such a simple question. Fine. Let's recalibrate the difficulty and proceed with the next question. Please name Lord Baphomet's sacred animal.
A bull! Of course, everybody knows that.
Yep, and a cow.
It's an aurochs, as a matter of fact.
I'd like to ask you to stop prompting them, but it seems they could do with a prompt or two.
Throw the vague glance at you.
It appears the experiment has yielded results which are as unexpected as they are incredible. Baphomet's cultists have not the slightest idea about who Baphomet really is, let alone any in-depth knowledge of his ideology or philosophy. I'm positive that this news will cause a sensation in widest scientific circles.
Damn it, she's right. I'm a shitty excuse for a cultist. And my mother used to tell me to become a plowman.
Hey, take it easy. We've only had 2 questions. You there, come on, ask another one. We'll get the next one.
Ask them more? No, we're going to say nothing.
Is there any sense in continuing? You cannot answer the simplest of questions. I am ashamed of all of you, as cultists and as individuals.
Please, ask again. I can answer. I'm sure I can.
How do you spell Baphomet's name?
B-A-F-A... Oh, screw it. To hell with Baphomet. I thought it was gonna be fun, but instead there are all these questions. I'm done here. I'm going back to my home village, back to my mother.
Hey, wait! You there! How dare you stir up discord in our ranks? Grab her and tie her up! And her entire entourage, too!
The experiment is complete. Unable to deal with the questions, the cultists decide to deal with the examiner instead. A typical reaction for a person who has never been burdened with any intelligence. Now you're gonna start hitting each other, aren't you? Please, proceed. I won't interrupt.
I'm sure they mean us no harm, right?
Wide open.
I'm done with you.
The spirits demand your blood.
Absence of an answer is an answer too.
The result is statistically predictable, especially considering their intelligence level. What about you, boy? Are you ready to answer some questions for the good of science? Let's proceed with the experiment. My first question is simple. Which colors does the goddess Iomade prefer?
You are absolutely correct, convinced that the correct answer is red and white.
I am the one asking questions here. Answer them, and then I'll satisfy your curiosity. This answer is correct. It is comforting to meet at least one educated person in the melting pot of ignorance that is Canabras today. Let's proceed. Did Aradin take part in any crusade before he died?
You know for sure that Aradin died not long before the world wound opened and the first crusade began.
Your answer is correct. Aradin's death dates to 4606, and that is precisely the year when the world wound was opened. The first crusade started back in 4622. Your knowledge would make Mendev's crusaders proud. My final question is, what is the title that Arilu Vorlesh bears? Is she the architect of the world wound, the lord of the labyrinth, or the border acquisitor of the shapeless abyss?
Positive that Ariel Vorlesh is known as the architect of the world wound. Yeah, I could have answered that myself. We read about that.
That's correct! Most excellent! You successfully answered all of my questions. Splendid. Amazing. This is a breakthrough. I thank you for your cooperation. It seems to me that I owe you an explanation. My name is Nenio. I am an explorer, a pilgrim, a yet-to-be-recognized scientific luminary, future author of the great Encyclopedia Galarianica, and rector of all Absalom's universities at once. Future rector, I should say. I also know several spells.
Can you tell me, finally, what you are getting at with all those questions?
It is so heartening to see you strive for knowledge. I have been conducting an experiment comparing the intellectual abilities of the average cultist with those of the average crusader. And I must admit that you passed the test with flying colors. This does offer a glimmer of hope for the future of Crusade. I have always claimed that despite the popular beliefs about the limited intellectual abilities of those in the army, at least some of them can be considered educated. It pleases me to see that I was correct.
So you are trying to say that I am mediocre?
Yes.
Nenio scans you once again from head to toe. Why do you keep calling me boy? I have a name, you know.
I apologize for an injury to your ego, but your name is irrelevant on the grand scale of the universe. Thus, it cannot possibly interest me. I will forget it as soon as I hear it. To avoid unnecessary confusion, I'd prefer to not know it at all.
Inabris isn't safe right now. Shall we join forces?
Do you wish to become my follower? To accompany me on my expeditions to the World Wound? To assist me in my experiments? To run errands for me? Perhaps even to write down my deepest thoughts for the benefit of future generations? Oh, how splendid! Of course, I agree. Truth be told, I have no money to pay you. But you will be aiding the progress of science, and that is its own reward.
Okay.
Excellent. You're hired. To think that I finally found someone to accompany me. 27 Crusaders before you said no. Not one of them saw the undeniable appeal of my offer. Your first assignment is to take me to a safe place. I have to admit that today's experiment has left me quite tired.
Okay. No. Still an hour? That's ridiculous. Can we finally... Ah, goodness. Defender's Heart. Perfect. So, that's going to mark the end of our episode. And next time we're going to meet at Defender's Heart and find out what we have to do there.